I am sure you've heard that saying that we attract what we are, but that law of attraction statement in itself isn't entirely true. More often than not, what we actually call in are experiences, events, and people that reflect back to us where we are out of sync with our own inner power. Because at this point in time in our soul's evolution as individuals and collective, it's all about being in our sovereignty. It's all about being able to be fully, authentically real with who we are. It's about being able to set energetic boundaries and act on them. It's about being able to express our truth no matter in what situation. Now, ladies, as women, and this is fairly easy, our true inner power sits here, right in our womb, right in our yoni. And why is that? Because the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus are all stored in our womb. And those are the chakras that hold emotions such as sadness, resentment, grief, and anger. Now imagine you keep those emotions there and you never work through them. The womb is our manifestation portal. You are going to call in experiences if you're holding on to those emotions that reflect that back to you. Now let's get real. How realistic is it to go through an entire life without ever feeling sadness, grief, resentment, anger, or any of the other lower vibrational emotions as we call them, unless we are a monk that's meditating 24/7 in a monastery? So it is never about diminishing those feelings. It's quite the opposite. It's about becoming really aware of them and transmuting them, because with time, whenever we are experiencing those kind of feelings, they will lead to less suffering than they used to, because we are able to own them and in that moment really release them. Because our experience here is all about contraction and expansion, but the pendulum and the way it swings is going to be more aligned the deeper we enter into our power. Now, it's easy to be in our feminine power when we are in our private space, when we attend feminine retreats or women's circles. But in this video, I want to show you 3 little things that you can do on a daily basis to tap into your womb power, to be in your sovereignty, especially in those moments when you feel anything but like it. Now, the following tips that I'm going to give you will be related to certain scenarios in your life that you can then use when you feel a certain way. You can also switch it up. Most importantly is always tune within what feels right for you in any given moment. Now, tip number 1, let's say you are in a situation where you feel tremendous anger, where you don't feel heard, overlooked, or just simply treated unfairly. Let's say you wanted to get a promotion and someone else got it. Let's say you did a great job and no one noticed it. Whatever it may be. When anger occurs, it is usually a secondary emotion, meaning its root is another emotion that was left unattended and unresolved. It can often also stem from sadness. And anger is always a sense of powerlessness. We are feeling powerless in a situation. Now, when we work with the emotion of anger, we need to also work with fire, but fire and water. So what we do is we connect to the womb. So when you are in that situation, I invite you to just, as subtle as you can, wherever you are, place a hand on your womb. Because what that will do is it will allow you to calm down. Because when anger arises, it's not always about reacting. It's about our ability to regulate that anger and to correspond it to the root in itself and to respond in a way that serves us. And as you're having the hand on your womb, it's not just going to calm you, but it's also going to allow you to connect, because wherever we place our hands on our body, this is where our attention goes. And then you begin to contract your vaginal muscles in sync with your breath. So meaning you inhale, you contract, you exhale, you release. And you do this for as long as you need to, until you feel a certain balance in your nervous system, a certain regulation that allows you to feel and think clearly. And then when you reach that state after a couple of seconds or minutes, however long you can do that, you begin to move that breath, meaning you're inhaling and you lift the breath all the way up your spine to the crown while you're contracting. And then when you exhale, you allow the breath to go back down your spine, back into the womb as you are releasing that contraction. And you do that consciously and slowly. And you will notice that as longer you do that, or the longer you do that, you will be more centered, you will be more relaxed, and the anger is going to transmute to a very different energy. You will gain clarity and you will know how to respond in that moment. But also your body might give you intuitive messages and insights that you need to listen to. And in regards to the water and fire element that I would invite you to use for the first exercise, you can envision when you start contracting your vaginal muscles a little flame, and that flame just becomes bigger as you keep contracting. And when you start to move the breath up, you can envision this flame moving all the way up your spine, all the way to the crown, and there then it transmutes into water. And that water, as you exhale, flows down like a waterfall in your spine all the way back into the womb, and then you begin anew. So when we work with the fire and with the water, we basically work with the father energy, the mother energy, right? So the masculine and the feminine, and we are merging them into a dance. And tip number 2 is an exercise that you can do whenever you feel uncentered, ungrounded, disconnected to yourself, to your environment. We all have days where we feel like meh, and those are the days where Mother Earth is calling us to be again one with her and to remember our interconnectedness. So for that exercise, I invite you to sit ideally with your feet on the floor. So for example, if you're in an office, you can sit on your chair, or if you're somewhere out in nature, you just literally sit your butt down into earth, into the grass, into the beach, wherever you are. And then you will start again to contract your vaginal muscles through the inhale, but this time around when you contract, you are envisioning completely taking in and sucking in through your yoni portal the energy of Mother Earth, because our yoni is like a vacuum cleaner, right? It sucks in the energies. So when you begin to breathe in and you contract the energy of Earth in and you allow it to move through slow and conscious breathing through your body, this will again center you, calm you, and allow you to feel more connected to Mother Earth's nourishment, but also to your own womb, body, and being. Last but not least, one of my favorite exercises, and this one you can use if you need to build up courage, or if you just want to feel more alive, if you want to feel that life force energy moving through your body, if you want to feel that you're actually breathing and that you are alive. So for that, we need to connect the heart with the womb, because those two are energetically intertwined. And for any kind of courage, we need the heart, because the heart includes cœur, le cœur French for the heart, and rage. So what we do is we inhale, we open the chest, and we put our booty back. So in this case, it looks like this. And then you use your hands, okay? So you use your hands, you open yourself up to it. And then you exhale, you open, you exhale, you open, you exhale, and you use your breath. So you inhale through the nose, and you exhale through the nose. And you do that for as long as you need. And usually when you're in it, the movements become smaller and wider and wilder. And of course, you might not want to do that in the office, so you can maybe go to the restroom, or if you're in public, if there are people, just keep doing it. Let them be motivated and inspired and do the practices with you. So I hope that this little exercise has helped you to connect with your womb power, because we are here to fully live her.